Hello citizens of Tokusatsu Central, I am Jared Rand, and today we're going to be doing the review of the Kaitou Sentai Lupinranger versus Keisatsu Sentai Patranger DX Goodstriker. So this is probably our first and hopefully not only dial fighter and trigger machine fusion, which is used in the verse changer for the finishing attacks and in mecha form in order to execute their mecha formation, or their mech formation. So let's just stop beating around the bush and get right into the toy. So here we have the Goodstriker in the form that you get it out of the box, the trigger machine mode. So to turn it into the dial fighter mode, you just flip out the nose and spread out the wings. And the detailing is the same either way, just a small little thing here and there. So here's our Goodstriker in its standard dial fighter mode, and this thing is big, girthy, and heavy. As you can see, makes an actual, solid impact sound once it hits the table. So obviously, you're not going to want to hold this thing in the verse changer with just one hand. You're going to want to use two hands to support the weight. But as you can see, some very nice detailing all over the toy. Let's just zoom in, get some of that beautiful detail. As you can see, the blue headlights for the trigger machine mode. Some jets right at the front, which makes no sense because jets wouldn't be up at the front. The face design, which is actually pretty demonic. Some orange up here, white, which I'm very glad is actually panel lined. Well, I mean, mostly for that part, but I think that's just a thing on mine. The dial for the dial fighter mode, of course, and it does work. Some clips all over the thing, a little spot that when this folds up fits right into. The wings have the Lupinranger logo right there and the Patranger logo right there. So pretty nice. And just so you know, let me just zoom out and take a closer look. This right here is actually pins. So this wing right here dictates on how the pin setup will work, because this button right here, when pressed, will push up the certain pins for the specific combination of Goodstriker that you want it to be in. The dial fighter mode, those will stay down, but for the trigger machine mode, they will flip up. I was kind of confused, at first on how that would work, but it works fantastically. And flipping it right into dial or trigger machine mode, as you can see, there's this empty spot right here. The only new part of detail that happens is that it's filled in. So you have this continuing look to it. So now we can get into the noises. Just pull the tab. The electronics or the batteries are already included. So for the Lupinranger noises, you're going to want to spin the dial. And for the Patranger noises, you will want to press the trigger. So once it goes into the verse changer, it actually recognizes what mode it's in, and it will make different noises accordingly. So we'll start off with dial fighter noises. The Goodstriker has arrived. This standby noise will go on until you finally twist it. And then it goes back into the previous sound set. So for the dial fighter mode, so that's basically about it for those noises. So depending on whether you have made it choose the Lupinrangers or the Patrangers, the noise upon inserting it into the verse changer will differ. So now getting right into the noises with the Goodstriker. Might as well do the Patranger's noises first. So, if you insert it without doing any of those fancy button presses, then you'll get that. And that's same for the Lupinranger mode. So, that said, for the common good, I still don't know if those translations are correct. Ichigeki Strike. So for the finisher, if hopefully you noticed, it basically what it does in the show, it creates the character known as Patranger, which is basically Patranger fusion. It's fusing all three of the Patrangers together. So, yep, basic stuff. And then for Dial Fighter mode, this one's the one you're going to want to be careful about. Make a game.
3, 2, 1. Action! Itadaki strike!
So, there's the finisher, and basically for that, it does the exact opposite of Patranger. It splits Lupin Red into 3.
Get set! Ready? Go!
So, there you go. That's all of the interaction with the verse changer. So, in the show, thanks to this guy, we can actually combine these all into Lupinranger's mecha known as Lupinraiser. So, to get them all prepped for the transformation, we're going to take Goodstriker here and crack its nose in half. Then we are going to press these two center buttons and pull them down and spread the legs apart. Next up, we're going to flip these two wings in and fold this down. After that's all said and done, you're going to flip open that peg right there. And for the Lupinranger mode, you're going to want to fold down these two panels. Adjusting it accordingly, you're going to take the blue Dial Fighter and spin, fold that down, and twist it just like that. Fold down the legs, or not the legs, I'm so used to Animal Mecha. Fold down the wings and plug it right in. Do the same sort of thing for yellow, except, reverse it and plug it right in. And then finally, going to adjust the camera. We will take Lupin Reds, fold the wings up, just like that. Fold it down like that, and then plug it right into the top peg. And there we have this year's, or this year's mecha. So this right here is the Lupinranger's mecha, Lupinraiser. Now, for any noises, you just hold down the button on the back. And same sort of thing applies for this mode for the specific sound. Kaitou got time and Lupinraiser. So now we're basically this is your standard stuff for your mecha. I like how he's got a top hat. Of course, It's semi-blocky, but I like the extra added bit of posability in the arms. So now you actually have elbow joints on both sides, and you can swing the arm all the way around. So, moving into our next mode for the Patrangers, you're going to flip up the leg things, and we're going to bring in our 3 trigger machines. Sango, Nigo, and Ichigo. So, pull these guys off. Set them off to the side for now. You know, you're going to make sure that all of them are in attack mode. So, then fold this out, and Nigo does the same thing. So, Nigo right onto the arm, just like that. Same thing with Sango. Finally place it right on like so. And flip this down. And here we have Pato Kaiser, or Pat Kaiser. Taking a closer look at the figure, because, you know, we can't really see that head too well. Let's just get right up in there. As you can see, the head is very Gundam-esque. And if you didn't know, I love me some of that Gundam. So, it's really cool to see a mecha. Yeah. Anyway, what I was saying was, it's really cool to see a mecha helmet similar to a Gundam. Although one problem I do have with this mode is the big gaps created. But honestly, it's fine by me because we have weapons built into the figure. So nothing, and I repeat, nothing will get lost. And in both modes, this is kind of an issue. If you have a problem with the kibble on the back, fuck you, I guess. Bandai wasn't thinking of you. They were thinking of money. Money. But, yeah, let's get right into my final thoughts. So overall, the DX Goodstriker is a fantastic toy in the line, and probably the greatest in the line so far. Still holding out for those Patranger and Lupin X toys, but overall, this toy gives us the most playability out of anything in the line, working as basically a centerpiece to the entire collection, not preferring either team, but instead having the best parts of both and using them to its advantage. I mean, you literally have a dial fighter mode and a trigger machine mode. It can work with all 3 of the mechas. If you don't have something like the Verse Changer or any of the mechas of the line, it doesn't feel complete. It just feels like one small part of a larger whole, or the largest part of a larger whole. It doesn't feel complete without any, or if it doesn't have any of the others. So, honestly, I'd recommend buying this alongside the Dial Fighters, Trigger Machines, and Verse Changer. But if you do, honestly, it makes it all the more worth it, because you get all of those different noises going along with the toys. And not only that, allowing us to get our 2 mecha combinations for the year, and 2 pretty beefy gun combinations. So, thank you guys for watching. Like if you enjoyed the video that much. Subscribe if you want to see more. And comment if you want to ask any questions about the actual toy. You can check out my Instagram, ran.jared. Check out my other YouTube channel, Jared the Collector New. And, of course, come on down to my Discord, the Land of Otaku. And I also have an RP server, but nobody allowed in there anymore. And I will see my fellow citizens of Tokusatsu Central next time when I review the Robot Spirits Pacific Rim Uprising Gypsy Danger. I said Gypsy Danger. I mean Gypsy Avenger, gosh.